last time on Behind the Machine.
They're not letting you race today. They're not letting you race next week. You have no chance at winning the championship.
With Mike Alessi sidelined and Andrew Short suffering mechanical issues, Hangtown was a disappointment for both of KTM's 450 class riders.
We thought we were so prepared for outdoors, and then once you go racing, sometimes it changes.
It's not easy, and I keep reminding people at the factory, we can do it, but it's going to take everybody's best to turn this thing around.
You just try and get ready for the next one and see what you can do there.
In this episode, KTM's championship hopes turn to the 250 class and their rider Marvin Musquin. Both Musquin and Short will attempt to move the brand beyond the unavoidable disasters of the sport.
One of the things that KTM has that's different than the other manufacturers, we have the chance to bring world champions from Europe and bring them over here and show the world what those guys can do.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together. The #1 KTM rider, Marvin Musquin.
I think we got absolutely one of the greatest lights riders out there, Marvin Musquin.
With the track record of domination in Europe, the two-time world champion set out to conquer the US in Supercross and Motocross.
You win a world title, you get your team set up, you get your guys around you. He had all that in Europe, and he was one of the strong ones that said, man, I'm gonna go do this in the States, and KTM's gonna be there with me. But he had to make a lot of steps outside of the comfort zone to come over here.
The guy's hungry, he wants to do well. He's won his 2 world championships, he wants to come here and be successful as well.
After a knee injury that forced him to miss most of the Supercross season, Musquin arrived at Hangtown anxious to prove himself.
Marvin just showed up and nobody really knew exactly where he was going to be, and that's his first race at Hangtown. Goes out and sets the fastest practice times. I mean, all these other guys have been running those tracks for a couple years.
In the first moto, he ended up finishing 4th, which was a great first race for him, seeing as though he had just come back from a knee injury. Then the second moto, he had a tip over in the start.
Oh my goodness, have we got a traffic jam at the bottom of the hill? Marvin Musquin's on the deck. Hey!
Rallied all the way back from 36th to 6th place, which was fantastic.
How about Marvin Musquin? It is unbelievable how many spaces he has made up from that terrible start.
It's awesome to watch the kid ride. Amazing how smooth he is and his line choice. He can see places on the track better than a lot of people. The best riders are the ones that can see a line and make a decision.
He's going to be a force to reckon with because he is a very talented rider.
He's one of those guys that's going to be able to go from continent to continent, country to country, and be able to do well. He's just not an intimidating kid.
After an exciting debut performance at Hangtown, Musquin showed up at Texas with his sights set on his first American podium.
He seemed to be coming to grips with the team and with his change from France to the US, and he was very happy with his bike. He had a great qualifying session, finishing 1st.
We are happy to be here and ready to race the American guys.
In practice, Musquin set the fastest lap time for the 2nd week in a row and followed it up with a 2nd place start in Moto 1.
Justin Barsha, followed by the world champion Marvin Musquin, Blake Baggett, and Barsha goes down, he takes Musquin down with him.
The 3rd corner, the guy in front of him went down, which led to his bike hitting a hay bale and bouncing up in front of him and breaking 3 bones in his hand, and he had a compound fracture of the thumb.
In no way, shape, or form did he do anything to be part of that. Did he have a chance to not be part of it? Just luck jumped out and just took him down.
He's out now, and it's going to take a couple weeks to get better again.
This is not a guy who doesn't know how to ride a motorcycle. This is a guy who's one of the most talented motorcycle riders in the world.
With both Marvin Musquin and Mike Alessi injured, Andrew Short was the only factory KTM rider left. The heat and humidity of Texas will be the perfect place to test KTM's midweek adjustments to Andrew Short's bike. Things would only get harder on Andrew and his machine once Moto 1 got underway.
Andrew Short has gone down to lap #1. Knocked away short, he wanted to get things going. He's all the way back in 40th.
Track. I don't know where.
He's really easy to work for, I think, because he's so focused just on himself and himself being better. He's really good at, keeping all the negativity out. Even though maybe we have 1 weekend bad or whatever, he forgets about it and moves on.
He didn't have that good a start, but he was charging from the back. It showed some good news for us that he's got some fight there.
He rode his butt off and got 15, so it was a good ride, just can't have mistakes like that.
On top of Short's gritty performance, his bike proved resilient in the Texas heat. In Moto 2, things continued to improve.
Second moto started around 15th and then worked his way forward. Ended up 6th and rode really good. He actually made good moves to get it. Yeah, he's riding good. We just got to work on some starts this week and work on some speed also. See if we can make the bike a little better for him.
It doesn't matter if you had a championship that you've won for 10 years in a row or if one you're still trying to win. You always want to work hard to win.
What makes it a great sport is you cannot predict the outcome. You can have the best motorcycle, the best rider, which is very, very important, but still things can come your way, and that's what attracts us to motocross.
For our brand right now, we're not in a championship hunt for this particular season, but that doesn't mean you give up fighting.
Next time on Behind the Machine. After suffering a concussion at round 1, Mike Alessi returns to the outdoors. Both Alessi and Short will strive to put KTM on the podium in the most competitive outdoor season in years.
It's going to be Mike Alessi with the whole shot!
Maybe you don't win the championship, but just show everybody what Mike Alessi could have done had he stayed healthy.